I raised my fiance's daughter like my own for over a decade. Then she found a new man, and they both turned on me. Now, they want me back. Too late. Hello, Reddit I. Plus here. My name is David Monroe and I'm 44 years old. For 13 years I loved a woman named Erica and raised her daughter, Skylar, like she was my own flesh and blood. I wasn't just the guy who lived in their house. I was dad. I was the one who bandaged scraped knees, attended every school recital, and stayed up all night during Skylar's asthma attacks. But in the end, blood didn't betray me. They did. I met Erica when I was 30. She was 28, a single mom, and working 2 jobs while raising her then 3-year-old daughter. We met at a friend's engagement party. She had this raw, grounded energy that pulled me in. I wasn't looking to be a father at the time, but somehow being with Erica and Skylar felt right, natural. We didn't rush. I took my time building trust with both of them. Erica had been burned before by Skylar's biological father. He walked out the moment she told him she was pregnant, never came back, never called. By the time Skylar was 5, she was calling me daddy, and by the time she was 10, I was the one driving her to soccer practice, taking her to father-daughter school events, and tucking her in every night. I proposed to Erica when Skylar was 11. She said yes with tears in her eyes, but we never got around to planning the wedding. First it was the finances, then her mom's health crisis, then Skylar's high school schedule. I didn't mind. We were already a family, or so I thought. For years, I provided everything. Erica went back to school and eventually started her own interior design business, using my savings. I never complained. I wanted her to succeed. I helped pay for Skylar's private school tuition, orthodontics, her summer arts programs. When she wanted to go to a $25,000 a year liberal arts college, I co-signed the loan and paid the rest out of pocket. But somewhere along the way, things shifted. Erica became distant, cold. She stopped touching me, started hiding her phone. I chalked it up to stress, but deep down, I knew. Then Skylar, who used to run into my arms after class, suddenly started treating me like I was invisible. Or worse, like I was a burden. She began calling me by my first name. I'll never forget the first time she said it. "You're not my real dad anyway, David. Why do you care what I do?" That line hit me like a freight train. When I brought it up to Erica, she rolled her eyes. "She's a teenager," she said. "Stop taking everything so personally." But it got worse. They started going places without telling me. Skylar started spending weekends away. And then one day I came home early from work and caught Erica in the backyard, laughing in another man's arms. His name was Marcus. He owned some tech startup and looked like he walked straight off the cover of Forbes. Skylar was there too, laughing with them like it was the most natural thing in the world, like I didn't even exist. I confronted Erica that night. She didn't cry, didn't deny it. Instead, she said, "Look, David, we've outgrown you. I didn't mean for it to happen like this, but Marcus can offer us a different life." A different life? I built their life. Every vacation, every bill, every school fee, every therapy session Skylar needed after her panic attacks. I paid for it. I asked Erica, "So what happens to us?" "To me?" she said, cold as ice. "There is no us. You're not Skylar's father and we're not married. You'll bounce back." And just like that, they left. No apology, no goodbye, not even a thank you. The house felt like a tomb. 13 years of family photos, laughter, birthday banners, all erased in one afternoon. They took everything they could. Erica drained our shared account. Skylar blocked me on all platforms. I didn't just lose them. I lost my identity. I crashed for a while, quit my job, lived in silence. I had no legal rights to Skylar, no claim to the home I let Erica decorate from top to bottom, no ring on her finger to fight over in court. But then I did what broken men sometimes forget to do. I got up. I used what little savings I had left to move across the city. I took an entry-level job in real estate, not glamorous, but it had potential. And you know what? I was good at it. I climbed fast. Sold more properties in my first year than most agents with 10 years under their belt. 2 years later, I opened my own real estate firm. I built a new life, a better one, and then came the message from Skylar. "Hey David, I know it's been a while. I'm sorry. I was wondering if you'd want to talk sometime." I stared at the message for a long time. Then I looked at her profile. Gone was the bubbly college kid. She looked tired, worn, grown. I didn't reply. The next week Erica called. I let it go to voicemail. Her voice cracked like someone desperate to hold back tears. "David, I know I have no right to ask for anything, but things didn't turn out how I thought. Marcus, he changed. He was emotionally abusive, controlling. He kicked us out. Skylar dropped out of college. She's living with me now. We've lost everything." Then came the line that made me laugh in disbelief. "We miss you. We want our family back." Our family? The same family you tossed like trash the second a shinier option came along? I didn't call back, but I did send an email. Erica, I gave you and Skylar everything I had. Not just money, but love, time, energy, and loyalty. You replaced me without hesitation, and only now, when everything's collapsed, you remember me. I'm not your backup plan. I'm not your ATM. And I'm certainly not the man I used to be. Don't contact me again. That night, I sat on the balcony of my penthouse, the one I bought with the commission from my firm's biggest deal. I poured myself a drink and watched the city lights glow beneath me. I had mourned a family that never saw my worth. Now, I live for myself. They turned their backs when I was down. Now they want back in because I've risen. But I've learned something powerful. Some people only come knocking when the house is already built. I locked the door behind me, and I'll never open it for them again. 2 weeks after I sent that email, I got served. A court summons. Erica was suing me. Her claim? That I had promised to support Skylar as a father would, and that I had created a reasonable expectation of lifelong financial commitment. She was demanding retroactive child support for a child that wasn't even biologically mine, nor legally adopted. I couldn't believe it. After everything I'd done, after all the years I supported them out of love, not obligation, she was trying to take more. My lawyer laughed when he saw the papers. She doesn't have a leg to stand on, he said. You were never married. You never signed guardianship. This is desperation, plain and simple. Still, I showed up to court. I needed the closure. Erica sat across the room in a wrinkled dress suit that looked like it had been bought secondhand. She barely made eye contact. Skylar came too. She didn't look at me at all. When the judge asked them to speak, Erica stood up and started sobbing, talking about how I inserted myself into a father role and built their lives around me, as if that made me legally obligated to bankroll them for life. But the judge wasn't buying it. He turned to me and asked, Mr. Monroe, is there any documentation, email, text, written agreement, where you stated you would support Skylar indefinitely? I looked him dead in the eye and said, No, Your Honor, I did it because I loved her. And I loved her mother. I wasn't buying their loyalty, I thought I already had it. The judge nodded and said 7 words that felt like thunder. This case has no merit. Case dismissed. But I wasn't done. As we walked out of that courtroom, I finally got what I wanted. The last word. I turned to Skylar first. I showed up to every dance recital, every parent-teacher meeting. I held your hand through surgeries, breakups, and panic attacks. And you still looked me in the eye and told me I wasn't your real dad. You may not remember what I gave you, but I'll never forget how easily you threw it away. Her lip trembled, but she said nothing. Then I turned to Erica. You taught me something important. People don't change. They just get better at hiding who they really are. You left the moment someone wealthier showed up, and now that he's gone and the money dried up, you come crawling back like a ghost with open palms. She tried to speak, but I raised a hand. You don't miss me. You miss what I gave you. Safety, stability, unconditional love, but you don't deserve any of it anymore. Then I walked out. I got in my car, drove away, and never looked back. But here's the final twist. A few months later, I ran into Skylar again, at an open house I was hosting. She didn't know I was the broker. She walked in with a guy, young, mid-20s, clearly her boyfriend. They looked like they were struggling, whispering about credit checks and down payments. When she saw me, her face turned white. I smiled politely. Can I help you find something affordable? She opened her mouth but said nothing. Later, I found her sitting alone on the front porch of the property. She looked up at me with red-rimmed eyes. I messed up, she whispered. I didn't know what I had. I crouched next to her. You were young, but you weren't innocent. You made your choice. Now you live with it. She looked down. Can we at least stay in touch? I paused, then stood up and said, You had a father. You buried him the day you walked away. And I left her there, because some chapters don't get a sequel. Some bridges don't get rebuilt. And some people only understand love after they've destroyed it. But by then, it's far, far too late.